Warte kurz. Broom Closet. Das sollten wir doch irgendwen rausholen. Oder das sollte doch irgendwer rausgeholt werden. Okay, das wollte ich nicht. Schade. Jetzt so eine kleine Nebenmission.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Wo ist das Büro meines Bosses? Ah, das ist wahrscheinlich da. Kurz nochmal da hinten schauen, aber da wird wahrscheinlich auch nichts aufgehen. Nein. Komplett anderer Stil jetzt hier, aber gut, das ist auch der Boss-Raum. So, was haben wir denn hier alles? Die Computer, die wir nicht ausschalten können, die haben gar keinen Knopf zum Einschalten. Deshalb können wir sie nicht ausschalten. Wow. Warte, eine Aussage. Warum sind hier 2 Telefone? Ich meine, wer auch immer da sitzt, der kann bloß mit einem Hörer telefonieren.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Nightshark 115. Okay, das Spiel überwacht nicht mein Mikrofon.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What the fuck?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Jetzt bin ich gespannt, ob das wirklich das Ende war. Ich bin mir nicht sicher.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ein bisschen Strom sparen hier, ne? Können wir unseren Computer auch ausschalten? Scheiße, geht nicht mehr.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference.
Yep.
Nor did it advance the story in any way.
Anscheinend waiting input. Oh, input received. Ja, weiter. Und jetzt? Kann ich? Nee, geht nicht. Ich würde noch gerne was weiter eingeben. Es scheint so, als ob der jetzt wirklich nochmal neu gestartet worden würde. Username Access. Hallo? Kann ich da irgendwie hoch? Nee, kann ich nicht hoch. Ich würde das gerne lesen. Schade. Schalten wir aus. Da geht nichts weiter. Also es schaut wirklich so aus, als wäre das Spiel jetzt komplett neu gestartet worden sein. Weil es gibt auch Passagen, da startet ja der Erzähler das Spiel neu. Da werden wir hoffentlich vielleicht noch hinkommen. Und dieses Mal gehen wir links oder gehen wir rechts? Gehen wir links, gehen wir rechts, gehen wir links, gehen wir rechts. Ah, komm, gehen wir links. Wir folgen jetzt mal dem Erzähler.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, dann gehen wir mal weiter. Oh!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Das hat mich jetzt gerade ein bisschen verwundert. Hey, da sollte doch irgendjemand drin
There was
sein.
nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Da oben haben wir
It
Kabel.
was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Ich mach doch die Tür auf und zu.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Mal schauen, was der
You do
Erzähler sagt.
realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Ist das geil.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Ich glaube, jetzt kommt nichts mehr. War das geil. War das geil. Also solche Sachen muss man bei The Stanley Parable echt mitnehmen, weil diese Dialoge kann man eigentlich nicht sagen, diese Monologe des Erzählers, die sind halt einfach so genial geschrieben. Okay, da kommt nichts mehr. Wir gehen wieder raus.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Ist das geil, dass der sogar reagiert drauf, wenn wir nochmal reingehen. Ist das geil gewesen. Leck mich am Arsch. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Erstmal gegen den Erzähler arbeiten. Okay. Da ist nix weiter. Firehorse, also Feuerlöschschlauch.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the fuck?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Scheiße.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Das mit der Maus war übrigens gerade ich. Das war nicht der
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Jetzt bin ich gespannt. War's das?